Hey everyone, Mike and Aubrey here from Simplify Abroad. If you're new to our channel, we are a family of 6, maybe 7. My mom's trying to move out to Spain as well, but we made the move from the US to Spain just over 2 years ago. And this kind of started off as something we just kind of did for friends and family. It's been getting more views and trying to help people and stuff now. So just kind of giving our tips, tricks, ideas of places, how it was traveling there with young kids. And so today in particular, we're talking about Tenerife in the Canary Islands? Canary Islands, yep. So I'm gonna start off. This is tough because, well, one, we are in our stairwell. I don't know if you guys can tell. There's so much construction going on around us, like people like remodeling their homes, not new homes being built.
Every single
almost every house.
This is the only safe place we have at the current moment.
So the next couple of videos are going to be in the stairwell, but after that, I think we're not going to be in the stairwell anymore.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Tenerife is tough for me because obviously, if you guys new to the channel, again, like, subscribe. But I am from Hawaii. And so islands, I'm always,
He's
I
tough.
don't know.
He's tough to impress on an island or even a beach.
Yeah. So what I would say is, if you've been to Hawaii, I don't know if you're going to be, I don't think you're going to be blown away by Tenerife. I think you'll still like it. But
That's not fair.
no, but it's true. If you've been to Hawaii, it's, right? If you haven't been to Hawaii, and like you can't get all the way, like if you're anywhere like in Europe or anything where Tenerife is closer than flying all the way across the other way to get to Hawaii, then I recommend Tenerife. I think it's it's pretty beautiful. I think the beaches are pretty nice. I think there's some pretty scenic things where you can overlook into the ocean off of cliffs. I would also say the towns are probably a little bit nicer. I'll let kind of my wife get into that a bit more. Okay. But just being from Hawaii, this is really the only negative thing I'm going to say about Tenerife. If you're from Hawaii or another island, I don't know how impressive you're going to find it. If you're not from one, I think you're going to absolutely love it, and we recommend it. Because this is something we actually didn't do with the kids. We went just myself and Aubrey for like 4 days. Yep. It was a great trip. We had a great time. But I'll kind of let Aubrey touch on it. I just wanted to start off
being a Debbie Downer.
Hawaii, I don't know.
Well, I have to say, I lived in Hawaii for some time with him, and I was still very impressed with Tenerife, and I loved it. To the point I was like, maybe we could just live here. And he was the one to be like, no, I'm born and raised on an island. It's almost like this is the reason why we always choose mountains and snow, is because this guy is always like, to beaches or islands or anything. Yeah. That's pretty fair. You're the reason we choose mountains. But anyways, back to Tenerife. I have to say, I love just the beauty of the island, and especially the side that we were on, which I don't remember the exact location.
I'll have to think about it.
I can't remember where we were, but I would say just even seeing all the beautiful flowers everywhere. You'd walk out of our hotel and there's just beautiful, beautiful flowers. And I even took pictures of them because I'm like, oh, these are so pretty. But, excuse me, even just the slow vibe I felt when we were walking around town, everything just felt very nice and calm. And like we would even walk even slower. I do think he is a very slow walker in general. I think a lot of people from Hawaii are very slow walkers. And now moving here, I have become a slow walker in Spain.
I probably walk faster now for some reason.
He does. But going there, it was just even slower. I swear something that was supposed to take 10 minutes, it took us maybe 20 because we're like, oh, look, pretty flower. Oh,
island vibes.
It was very calm, very chill. The town was really pretty. I really liked walking through the town, and
it was cute.
It was honestly, it was just like a regular Spanish town, like in the inners, and they would have like the little courtyards with the restaurants all around, everyone out eating ice creams. It reminded me a lot of here, but then you'd walk over and be like, oh wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful oceans.
Yeah, it's like I said, if you haven't been to Hawaii, it's nice. Like I'm not trying to downplay it in that sense. Another reason why I personally wouldn't go back before I start getting into things I did like, I forgot to mention this in the beginning. For some reason, I was just mistaken here, my geography, maybe because I went to American school, I don't know. My geography was not amazing. When I hopped on the flight, I was like, oh, it's gonna be like a 90-minute flight, right, max. And maybe it's because if you guys saw our other recent video from Mallorca, it's like a 50-minute flight from Valencia to those islands.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I was in that mindset. It's over 3 hours. It's a direct flight. It's over 3 hours. Because I can go to so many other places in Europe in 3 hours, I probably would choose somewhere else just because I'm from an island. But to get to the positive things of this, the tickets and the hotel was in the off season. We went in March, was so cheap. It's actually why we took the trip. We just felt like we couldn't pass it up. We stayed at a 5-star hotel. I would not say it was a 5-star hotel. It probably was a 4, like it, take a star away. Still really nice. We're talking like, it was like $60 a night for this place. And then on top of that, our round trip flights, like if you actually look right now, there's like a November flight I just looked up. It's $30 round trip from Valencia to Tenerife direct on Ryanair, 3 hours and like 20 minutes, basically flight. To have our flight and our hotel so cheap. Again, it was in March. Did we go in the water?
But Anna was only us, so
Yeah.
like when we were saying so cheap, because
still.
there's only 2 of us as opposed to 6 or 7,
Yeah.
it does feel even cheaper. We're like, oh my god, like we can get all this food.
Still, you'll see a lot of flights like 100. Like
Yeah.
there's other flights like 2 weeks later from now. It's $180, right? Round trip. $30 round trip. Ryanair. The hotels were like $60 for like a 5-star hotel. And again, really, it was a 4-star hotel, but still, it was really nice. If you go in the off season, yes, we didn't go swimming in the water. I mean, I probably would have, but like the locals obviously weren't. But we got to use the pool. It was still sunny. It was still beautiful. I think we had a very light jacket on, because there's a tiny breeze.
Yeah.
The price, it's really hard to beat. Kind of like we touched on the Mallorca. It's so cheap, some of the flights to get there. If you go in certain times, you get really good deals. I enjoyed my 4 days there. It was a nice break from the kids, to be honest. It was nice to be back on an island. I did get a little homesick because it actually did remind me of Hawaii. But I just want to talk about cheap flights, everything. But then the one downside is I just couldn't believe it was like 3 hours and 20-minute flight from Valencia. That was just shocking to me when Mallorca was like 50 minutes, you know? I don't know why I associated the two, but I did. So, yeah.
Well, and for me, I would say they did speak Spanish there. It was a lot slower. I felt I was able to really, really understand everyone there. And this was, we were here
only
less than a year. So it was less than a year. And so we did understand quite a bit of Spanish, but it's not where it is today, for sure. And then when they were speaking, they used a lot of words I didn't know. Yeah. And so I asked our taxi driver.
It's like weird words.
Yeah, I asked our taxi driver, and I'm like, "What are you saying?" He goes, "Well, this is what we say here." And he said some of the influence they have is from Latin American Spanish. And I go, "Oh, this is why, because I learned my Spanish here in Spain, so I don't know some of the Latin American words that they use." Yeah, because we have quite a bit of friends here.
It was even weirder than just like coche and carro. What they say for bus? It was like wow.
No, they use that. But they use that in Latin America.
Yeah, but it's something crazy though.
Yeah, but it was very different from what we knew. Because I was like, "Excuse me, what are you saying?" They're like, "Oh, it's our bus." And I'm like, "Oh," but we only know the Spanish from here, and this is how we learned.
Yep.
So when we hear other words, and even like we have some friends, and when they're speaking to me, I'm like, "What?
Yeah.
Like, what'd you just say?" They're like, "Oh, I forgot. You learned Spanish here, so you don't know." They're always telling me, "You don't know real Spanish." I'm like, "Oh," I'm like, I'm trying to learn all of this, like all of the dialects, but it's for me, it's impossible if we're not living in that area.
100%.
And then my last one is, oh my goodness, is it hilly there?
Oh yeah.
It is so hilly, especially where we stayed.
Yeah.
So we stayed almost like on the top of like a big hill. And when we came into town, we kind of looked, we're like, yeah, we'll walk it. It's totally fine. So we walked all the way down, which we did get quite tired walking down because we would go to the little areas and look at everything and, just kind of take our time. But then when it was time to come back, we kind of looked at each other and we looked up the hill and we got about halfway up and then we called a taxi because we're like, there's no way. We were exhausted.
No, it was
steep.
It was a weirdly steep incline.
Yeah, but it would have taken, so I think it took us like 45 minutes to get down. Then it would have taken us 45 minutes to climb up this hill, and there's no way. We went for relaxation. Okay?
Yeah.
We
didn't have the kids
It was there we were supposed to relax.
I wasn't there to get sweaty and stuff. Yeah.
So we're like, no. So we called a taxi and we did get taken back to our hotel. But overall, it was very, very nice. It's just very hilly.
Yeah, it's just, but like in weird spots.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden there'd be a massive elevation change and then it'd be flat again.
Yeah. We're like,
Massive
no.
elevation change, yeah. Almost like a staircase. Like really big staircases. I guess my last thing I wanted to touch on, because the hilly part I actually completely forgot about. It was hilly. That was brutal. Beautiful when you're looking up top down.
Oh, yeah.
Really
Super
bad
nice.
when you're on the bottom and you actually get up there. The last thing I want to touch on is just being from an island. Obviously, we're actually going to do a Hawaii video soon. I was lucky enough that my wife surprised me to go back to Hawaii for my birthday. And that was a flight, Jesus. Let me tell you that.
It was a trip.
Yeah, but being on an island, everyone is expecting these just like really, really bad prices. At least I was. You know, like gas is, actually I don't remember what gas is now, because I was going to say $5, but it's more than that, a gallon in Hawaii. But you're getting gallons of milk, you know, if they're not on sale, $7 a gallon.
This was years ago.
Yeah,
though.
like it's bad. Like it's bad because you got to import everything. I didn't think Tenerife's prices were that bad. Now I know people in the comments may attack me for this if you're from like mainland Spain or Europe, like continental Europe's not the right word, but just like not on an island. I can see why you think the prices were bad. They were, now I'm not gonna say they were cheap, but compared to Hawaii, it was so much more reasonable than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
I think you might even have like some pictures, like some restaurants we're eating out at and stuff. Some really nice restaurants were like under $20. They're like, you know, 3-course meals and stuff. $20 a person, you know. You're not getting that in a lot of places. The grocery store that we went to, just a little corner market, it was not that bad. Like again, like the bottled water was expensive compared to what we get in Valencia, but like compared to Hawaii, it was still a third of the price. Like it's again, it's one thing where I was a little negative in the beginning. This thing I might be like a little blinded on the other side because Hawaii's so expensive.
But we do compare it from like Ohio, where I'm from, to Hawaii all the time, so we kind of feel like, I think Hawaii, I swear, sometimes it feels like triple the price.
It's bad.
More than, or maybe 4 times. When we went back, we saw the prices, we're like, oh my gosh.
It's bad.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
It's hard, I think it's just hard to have a living sometimes. Like, it's so expensive.
Yeah, so that's one thing I want to kind of defend Tenerife with is I'm sure it is more expensive, I'm not arguing that. It could be so much worse. Let me just say that, and I don't think it's that bad. And it didn't feel as tourist trappy to me as like Mallorca did. Maybe that's just the time of year we went, but Mallorca felt, maybe just that area.
Maybe it's the area because I feel like when you climbed up a hill, you had like a platform, and maybe everyone was like on these different platforms, so you didn't see everybody. I don't know.
But again, to kind of wrap this up, we did enjoy our time in Tenerife. If you are, I actually was shocked how different it looked than Mallorca. Is that fair to say?
It was completely different.
So if you're from Europe or if you're anywhere like close to that, I do think Tenerife is worth checking out. I think you will enjoy it.
Canaries in general, I think a lot of people love all of it.
Yeah, so I think it's worthwhile. If you're coming from like the United States, maybe the East Coast would be worth it compared to flying all the way to California then going to Hawaii. But in general, we enjoyed our time there. We had 4 days without the kids. I hope as you guys are looking throughout this video, all the pictures, videos, it's beautiful. Like it's a very beautiful island, very beautiful little town, city that we were in. And other than that, like I said, our other videos are Mallorca for another island.